Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Benjamin Baker Navani, and we are about to dive into the pistol round between G2 Esports and OptiC Gaming. Whew! And I would like to explain that, well, a lot of things, really. Oh, there's so much to go over. OptiC Gaming has a bit of a Cinderella story behind them, but they are going up against G2. No, certainly no pushovers. And this is the winner's match of Group A. So this is actually going to determine who goes on to the playoffs. Already, it's looking very exciting. I'm surprised G-Body wasn't caught on to sooner, being a chicken coop and all, but now Smiths is in a 1 versus 3 situation. Very difficult to pull off, but here we are. He's continuing to push forward. Well, Mixwell does manage to finish off what his team starts. They did take the T side after, I imagine, winning the knife round, or maybe it was G2 Esports who went for the T side. I actually did not check into the knife round. I apologize. So I'm just talking out my ass when I say that. But all in all, oh, sorry about that. I'm thinking this should be relatively exciting to say the very least. Sorry, there's something I'm looking for. Some information. There we go. Okay. Pretty big stack here for bomb site A, and took Mixwell quite a few bullets, but him and rather Rush a lot of bullets, but it looks like Mixwell finished what Rush started, and that's actually going to be 2 versus 4 now. And I mean, this is basically around that. G2 Esports just didn't have the firepower to match what OptiC Gaming has. So I mean, black and white execution wise, OptiC Gaming did everything. They checked the corners, they traded well, and now the bomb is planted. It's not over yet, but it's getting closer and closer to that, unfortunately. As we can see, Mixwell does earn 4K. He's just a little bit short of getting... Oh my god, the ace. It's real. It's real. I apologize I couldn't make that more climactic, but a combination of fatigue, hunger, and multitasking are starting to eat away at me. So I apologize. But it looks like G2 Esports are now, I mean, like, with the forced buy situation that they couldn't come out on top in. It's just unfortunate the situation they're in right now. But Mixwell, he gets a big bank after that. Like, really, you can see he's like $2,000-$3,000 above his teammates in some cases. But wow, now he's down to 1 HP. Try to make a 5K with that. Try to make an ace with that. Rather, is what I mean to say. Okay. So now it looks like a bit of a delayed execute onto bomb site B. Maybe we'll be seeing Mixwell hanging around and back, but that's a lot of headshots connecting with Rush. He's down to 1 HP and eventually finished off as well. Daps coming in with the Mac 10, Fly as well, and Stan coming in to justify he is Law. It's now 3 versus 1. Bomb will be planted, and Smiths, you know, he might have a chance of taking 2 of these guys down, but he's going to be hard pressed to take down the entire roster, or what's left of the roster of OptiC Gaming for the time being. Fly, he should have heard that, and that is going to be 1 to the head. First rifle round now for G2 Esports, and this is where, as they say, I guess you could say the rough gets rougher, if you will. Alright. And this is looking like it could turn ugly really well at drop, or really quickly at drop. Mixwell throwing both a frag and a Molotov there. And well, I mean, just without even looking at the enemy team, he's done so much damage. Rush comes in and finishes off, it looks like Shoxy. Scream just does it, and that's it. I mean, well, 4 versus 4 now. I mean, HP. Neither team really has an HP advantage, ironically enough. You would not think that after damage has been dealt from both sides. I mean, it's just 1 HP point off that each side is off by, if you will. And I don't know about the split. I mean, it's 4 versus 2 right now, black and white on paper if you are on OptiC Gaming and you're facing off against G2 Esports. They're throwing in the executable, what's the word I'm looking for? They're throwing in the executable stuff and the executable utilities. There we go. Entry utilities. And that is not working out in their favor. This rifle round is actually working quite well for G2 Esports as they do manage to hold their ground from Chicken Coop. We're going to see G-Body take a double kill for his time. I almost said chicken poop there. You guys just caught me. That's right. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Hang on just a moment. Got some more multitasking to do. So here we are now, and it looks more and more like we are just moments away from seeing the execution coming in from OptiC Gaming. But the question is, can they take this round or not? Because they've already lost one. You can see that it's already taken a toll on their economy. And if they're unable to take this round, that's where they're really in trouble. Stan, like, he knows that someone could be up there. Oh boy. Here we go. RPK on top of wall right now. And Stan, there it is. He's getting sprayed on. He knows what's up. He only takes 1 bullet. And that is going to be RPK just dropping down. Not getting such a fantastic, I mean, every little bit counts. But I mean, for giving up the ground that he has had to, it really did not achieve its intended effects. But here it is now. Was 3 versus 3. Now it's going to be 3 versus 1. And Rush, last man standing again. It feels like in some ways I don't know. If you're the last man standing 2 times in a row on your team, what does that say? I wouldn't say it's appalling, but it can definitely throw someone off, to say the very least. I'm sorry, God, it's getting late at night. I'm losing my thought process. I didn't mean to say it can throw someone off. I meant to say rather that it may make your team re-examine how they enter on bomb sites. But if we're going to talk about the Cinderella story that OptiC Gaming kind of has, they're a team that actually only started this year. And to date, they've made less than $70,000 as a team. When you split that much money 5 ways, you're talking about $10,000 per player since they began in January. With the position that they're in right now, the ESL Pro League, I think, just getting their foot in the door here to the offline finals, if they could make it to the playoffs, they'd be just absolutely phenomenal. But it looks like Scream is doing everything he can to prevent that. G-Body as well. Last man standing is going to be Mixwell. This time around, it's not Rush. He tries to make something happen, but it's a 5-0 clean sweep. OptiC Gaming does have a reputable Call of Duty team, in case you guys were unaware. I did a little bit of light research on these guys. And I know Call of Duty's been around for, I don't know, like competitive Call of Duty's been around since, I don't know, 2011, 2010? MLG circuits and such, but Activision itself actually made the, what's the word I'm looking for, the COD World Championship. So I guess you could say maybe, the CSGO team here is you know, I mean, they were kind of coughed forth by the brilliance and achievements of a Call of Duty team in the beginning. But let's just not forget that. How do I put this into words? This is what a lot of organizations do. They do branching out, multiple game titles. Let's not forget. I mean, G2, like they are. Well, they allegedly had Europe's best League of Legends team, but I'll refrain from further commentary. So, on that topic, but here they are with themselves at the offline portion of ESL Pro League. Flashbang getting tossed in, and Shoxy, he's waiting for his opportunity to just drop on it right now, or rather get dropped on. He's the reverse Goomba, if you will. He strikes from below. This is a question mark block, and he is Mario. Looks like he might just be able to pick something up here. I want to switch to his camera. There we go. They're all going in from drop. No one actually went in from connector, and that's working to their favor in some regards. Shoxy manages to get one in the process, but that's it. 12 seconds remain. The bomb will be planted, and it looks like we're going to be seeing now the CT's trying to play for the retake. RPK gets one. Smiths gets shut down on the retake. RPK 19 HP, 1 versus 2. Does he really want to push forward with this, or is he going to save his M4? Looks like it will be the latter of the two cases. Add 1400 to everything that you see now in front of your eyes, and you will have what looks like at the very least a quasi-buy to accompany what is coming from RPK, but it could also potentially be a full buy. We've seen just about everything on this map. I mean, we're talking about, more often than not, we see very, very, very T-sided halves at sometimes. So 3 M4s and 2 AWPs are now coming in from G2 Esports. That may just be what they've been looking for, and may actually help to break the winning streak that is coming out from OptiC Gaming. But let's also not forget the fact that they seem to be lacking in the way of utilities. RPK waiting for Mixwell and Daps to just poke forward. He gets Daps for his time, but well, that Molotov, if it doesn't finish him, Mixwell certainly will. And that's going to be, it looks like Stan shut down on the entrance into bomb site A, but the trades, very heavily G2 favored right now. Shoxy, he knows someone's up there, but it's going to be Scream who's denying him that that frag for his name. 3 AWPs is one too many for sure on CT side. I'm not going to say, you know, it can be the end of the world. That would be taking it too far. But what I can tell you guys is there's not enough support players to accompany how many AWPs there are on the team. So you're going to have always at least one op player who's not able to be covered by a support player. But at the same time, 3 AWPs might just throw off OptiC Gaming. So it could work in their favor. And they're going in loud and proud at this moment with weapons that specialize at and excel at close range. So hard to really say just how this would pan out in this particular situation. Another anti-entry smoke goes in. Drop is being dropped. Famas versus Tech9. Famas wins versus 3 players. I'm sorry, versus 2. Scream gets a double kill. And that is going to be Stan getting 1 refrag for his time, but the AWPs are here. Scream is now out of the game. Fly, only with a P250. It just can't be done. 3 ops, a USPS, and an M4 coming in from G2 Esports. Not to mention a big bank to boot. But I'm surprised this, I'm a little bit surprised that this worked out. But at the same time, we have to be real here. OptiC Gaming were on Eco, and they're more or less in the same situation right now. Oh boy. A little bit late to flick there. Complete miss, actually, as we do see Shoxy take a headshot. He does get to land a second shot and a third shot, however. And that is going to be corridor friendly fire. Oh my god, coming in from Shoxy. But nonetheless, his teammates more than make up for it. Like, there's no profit here but for OptiC Gaming. But that definitely does suck if you're RPK right now. There's no third op. No one bought him one either. It's just okay. Well, I'm sure the audience was laughing just a little bit at that. A little bit comical. But 2 AWPs, 3 M4s versus 5 AK-47s coming out from G2 Kingwin roster. Or rather, from the OptiC Gaming roster. G-Body he's stopping this at almost every corner he can. And that's going to be Daps, who's shut down by RPK. It's looking like this is getting into full-blown G2 Esports momentum mode. This is typically a T-sided map, and right now, OptiC Gaming isn't doing too terribly well. They might want to consider calling in a tactical timeout soon. Kind of collect themselves a little bit and think, okay, what are we going to do with the remaining rounds of this first half and potentially the second half. Oh boy, they're just getting stopped on Molotovs. 2 players just burned to death. G-Body gets himself a triple kill. Shoxy gets one himself. And the last player standing for OptiC is now NAFly, excuse me. Does manage to get 1 frag to his name, but these are not expensive wins for G2 Esports by any means. So they've got plenty of money in the bank off of what I feel is 4 wins in a row. Oh boy. Well, it's a little bit, how do I put this into words? I mean, OptiC Gaming, they played their first match against, I'm trying to think of the name of that team right now. Luminosity Gaming? No. Was it? No, I'm sorry, it was Astralis. And they managed to take down Astralis. Not bad for a North American team that literally just formed earlier this year. Now it looks like we're going to be seeing Daps. Oh, Mixwell's taken down, but okay. Well, now this looks like something that perhaps we could see the T is working with. We do see G-Body trying to work with his Cyrex Scar 20, but it's not happening. It's 2 versus 3 right now. Smokes everywhere. 1 versus 3 as Rush rushes into clean drop path. There we go. He reveals him behind tree statue, I guess you want to call it, tree corridor. RPK should know that someone's on chicken coop. It's almost painfully obvious. But he's getting flanked, and that's going to be Stan shutting it down. So right now, OptiC Gaming must be very happy to get away with this round. But we can't deny the fact that they've missed the threshold for desired rounds to take on the terrorist side. So they have to really stop and think about what they are going to be doing going into the CT side of this map. And they probably won't have too terribly much time to think about it. Sorry about that. Just want to make sure I could see my XSplit window. Here we go. G-Body makes the opening frag, immediately hops out from that position where he made it, which was at B corridor. 4 versus 5. Fly very hurt right now. Smoke tossed out of drop, and now that should be basically a pretty obvious entry coming in from OptiC Gaming. I feel like there's a bit of slow execution behind it. After throwing that kind of smoke, I would think to myself, all right, well, they're probably thinking that we are going through drop, so let's go out B corridor. And that is 2 for 2 in the exchange, and that unfortunately, with common sense math, that leaves... Well, it left G2 Esports up 1 man, but now it's 2 versus 1. 30 seconds remain, and they've got to get that bomb planted. Target spotted. 4 HP remains, and that's going to be Stan finishing what Fly starts. That is... well, not too bad. Not bad at all, really. I mean, once you stop and think about it from this perspective, economically speaking, this does a lot of damage to G2 Esports. I think there's a drop on the ground waiting for Shoxy. He just hasn't picked it up yet. There it is. Yeah, but I mean, if they are unable to win this round, well, never mind. It's a misnomer. It's not even applicable, based on the fact that this is round 15, the last round of the first half. There we go, pushing forward, but it's already been 3 in the exchange. It's just OptiC's Nafly and his teammate Rush, and that is looking like it's gonna be difficult. Rush is gone. It's all on Nafly. 1 versus 3. He's continuing to push this up just a little bit, and G2 Esports are gonna take this half 9-6. So we're gonna take things into a short break before we come back with the second half of this. I'm sure there's a player that needs to use the restroom. We'll be back very shortly, guys. Don't you go away. Alright guys, here we are now in the second half. Pistol round between G2 Esports and OptiC Gaming. So, checking things out right now, well, the first half was actually a little bit wishy-washy back and forth. Really, OptiC Gaming, if they were to tap out, I wouldn't say tap out, but basically bite the dust here against G2 Esports, you know, 2 things. One, it wouldn't be the end of the world, and 2, given I'd say they're a newer team, they haven't played half bad against G2 thus far. And I mean, Mixwell, he's basically been shut out of this round, but let's not count the entire roster out just yet. I mean, there's still 4 players left on the board, and the pistol round is the pistol round. You can just line up some crazy headshots on the CT side. You basically got a guaranteed 1-shot kill as well, but it's already back to 3 versus 3. And that's 1 for 1, back to 2 versus 2, and now we've got the rotate coming in from the CT side. G-Body now coming in. Daps coming in as well. Smith's doing not so bad. Okay, so here we go. OptiC Gaming now going forward and doing what with their spare time? This isn't that bad. G2 Esports on 10 points, however, they did win the pistol round, and now it looks like OptiC Gaming, they're not doing a forced buy. It's interesting. They're kind of doing a bit of an awkward-ish quasi-buy. They're kind of trying to capitalizing on I think, scrapping some weapons from the enemy team and getting away with them. But it's 4 MAC-10s from G2 Esports, and this is something that I admire from them. They realize, you know, I wouldn't say the weak positioning. It could also show, it could potentially be showing that they study their enemy team, like their demos of previous tournament play and things of that nature. But that's, I mean, that's just them going in and building paychecks, really. Especially Scream and Shoxy, they're each getting $1,200 a piece because of the $600 kill reward you get with a Mac 10. I'm gonna make sure we're unpaused and all that good jingo. Didn't want to actually pause the recording and just keep it there for no good reason. I've done that before, and I've had to just delete the VODs, thinking to myself, "Oh my God, I'm so terrible." Things like that. Fragmentation grenades going in. P250s are here, and that is going to be G-Body going in and getting a double kill with his own P250. Just like unbelievable. He gets shut down, however, and this turns into a near clean sweep for G2 Esports. But this should be the first rifle round coming in from OptiC Gaming. They're unable to capitalize on it, unfortunately, I think, the first one. 5 M4s. And, I mean, whoa, hi, jeez, like, G2 Esports going in here with 2 Mac 10s. I'm wondering, did they have to make that decision? They did not, but I feel like they're trying to keep their finances in uniform with one another. So, interesting position to say the very least. Opening 2 frags coming in now from G2 Esports, and this is just, it's not looking good. It really is not. I do apologize, this is getting late at night, and I've been casting since the beginning of this with no breaks whatsoever. And it's hard to keep yourself exhilarated when you're just casting for hours and hours and hours on end. But that is now, I mean, this is slaughter, really. RPK going to be chasing down his targets. And Kroll, that's going to be Daps, and he's struggling for dear life right now. Looks like he is now going to be surrounded, and we'll get one, but that's going to be Smith's just coming in without any manners whatsoever. Saying no salvage for you, essentially. And now G2 Esports, 13 rounds to 6 of OptiC Gaming. It feels like there's no stop to the momentum in sight, especially now with the weapons that they have. But OptiC Gaming, they are on more or less of a quasi-buy. So they're hoping to shut this down. And upgraded pistols at close quarters combat rather, can be quite effective. Look at the money here for OptiC Gaming. Even if they lose this round, win or lose, this is going to be a full buy after this round. Excuse me. But now we see G-Body and RPK and Smiths coming together. Well, Shoxy getting one, and this is again turning into a clean sweep. It's almost like G2 Esports know how these guys play on Cobble. It could also be a simple fact that OptiC Gaming didn't want to practice this map. I haven't been present for the entire Pro League season. I do apologize, but you know, it's just one of those things that time will tell. And it looks like G2 Esports have kind of done some homework about the enemy team that they're playing against. OptiC Gaming now going in for another rifle round. This time there's going to be an AWP, and this is like more or less this situation that they are in right now is a forced buy to avoid playing for overtime. Like, I mean, it's a fat chance at 14-6 right now that they will be able to win 10 rounds in a row, but it's possible. I just have to find this out soon enough, and that's going to be Smith's being taken down first, so not too terribly bad here coming from Daps, but it might be a good idea for the terrorist side not to get too over-eager. They're showing a massive amount of disrespect for OptiC Gaming in more ways than just one. Stack right now, I mean, it looks like the bomb was originally intended to go to bomb site A, but after that opening frag onto Smiths, I'd say that they're definitely reconsidering that option. And now we have a bit of a rotate going in towards bomb site B. Here we go. 3 versus 4, and G2 Esports is going to try and make that entry into bomb site B. They do successfully take down Nafly and Rush, and now it's 3 versus 2. And CTs are on for the retake. This, it's not going to be easy for the retake really here, but definitely something they want to consider. Just that's where it is. Match point. G2 Esports. I don't think they dropped. I feel like maybe my memory is failing me as fatigue is getting to me, and I seem to be thinking spontaneously, unable to focus on this. But G2 Esports, I don't think dropped even a single round on T side. Maybe I'm wrong. Find out soon enough. That's going to be Stan getting 1 refrag. But now look at this. 5 players standing, 2 max 7s. I caught onto this just a little bit too late. My contact lens are getting blurry with how fatigued I am. And like I can tell you right now, if the next match is the last one of the evening, then God. It's going to be terrible in quality to cast. I do apologize. But that is Daps getting 1 to his name. And RPK is the last man standing for G2. Money-wise, you know, I mean, they're going to have to drop for Smiths. But, I mean, this is, like, money is no consequence to them on this particular round. It's all those carbohydrates in my system. They are leaving my brain and going to my stomach to help digest food. Four AKs and an AWP coming out now for G2 Esports. We do see that OptiC Gaming do actually have 3 AKs and a UMP as well as an AWP. But Mixwell looks like he's getting caught a little bit too overzealous on top of a Molotov. It's already G-Body and Shoxy getting their opening frags. And, I mean, right now, B is looking cleaner than it ever would before. But they are going to persist with bomb site A. No rotates coming in. I feel like OptiC Gaming is kind of dead in the water here, and maybe this, like, no rotate play is kind of showing how they feel about this particular map. Maybe all hope is gone for them is what they're feeling, but that's going to be Fly getting 1. And he is refragged almost immediately. Now it's all on Mixwell. He's got the AWP and the USP in hand. It may be something that he can do, but again, it's not a guarantee. 18 seconds. Well, no preventing that. Too slow on T side. Whoops. But there it is, GG, 16-7. Very nicely played by G2 Esports. We want to congratulate them as they are the first team out of the group stage and into the playoffs. And OptiC Gaming is not entirely out of this just yet. I'm thinking they should be playing tomorrow as a part of day 2, but I may be entirely wrong about that. This is ESL Pro League, the offline finals, and maybe they want to determine all in 2 days who's going to take the championships and who's not. It's hard to describe. I don't have a comprehensive schedule at my disposal. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning into this match. We will be back very shortly with our next winners group match. Don't go away.